I actually saw, you had Romans, I think it's like a verse from Romans 10, on the site as I was perusing through, so I thought that was awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It actually reminds me of the past. Every time I hear, this is why I love, I call it biblical entrepreneurship, because to me, good business principles are simply Christian principles, right?
Yeah.
They're Bible principles applied to business life. That's simple and plain. And as you were saying that, it's like it reminds me of, when Paul was saying to the Corinthians, hey, I one may plant, one may water,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
God that gives the increase. Like, God is the one that gives the increase. And as we've both been sharing in this last couple of minutes, when it comes to business, it's God is the one who's going to determine whether this individual needs this, policy, for example, right? He will give the increase in terms of the financial benefit to the business. My job is simply to plant and water where he has assigned me, right, to benefit and impact the community that he has placed me in. And that's the same thing when in terms of, hey, this person he's brought in connection with me to work with me, I know it's for a bigger purpose than just the business, right? But whether they bring in any funds for themselves or me, the business, right, or whether they accept the invitation to the gospel that I'm even presenting to them, guess what? It's God that gives the increase. Like, I'm simply just planting or watering, right? But the
Yeah.
person who gives the increase is God. And that's in both aspects of life and in every aspect of life. Anybody else watching and listening, like, it's not just in business or just in the spiritual realm. It's literally in every realm. Whatever else you want to think about, right?
Yeah.
It's God that gives the increase. Our job is simply to plant, to order, right? And then
Yeah.
we let God do whatever he decides to do with that. We be faithful, right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
In where he has placed us, right? And so I want to ask you, have you had any any experience with, one of your agents that, has put that smile on your face because of not, and it could be from a standpoint of business, right? But also from a standpoint of that the spirituality of the individual that you see, like, Lord, wow, the effort, the energy that I put in on this side of things, I'm seeing that you're actually starting to grow and cultivate that you allow me to participate. And of course, you don't have to, share names or anything if you don't want, right? But
Oh,
just kind of, want to, hear, because I think when we talk about being business owners, right, that's an aspect we have to remember. God placed us in connection with people, whether we're a one-man band or whether we have people working under us, employees, clients, employees, they're placed there for a reason. And they are also a part of our target audience in terms of cultivating them for Jesus, right? You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I want to hear that as well. And I think people will want to know about that.
Yeah. It's something popped right into my mind as you were saying that, because I was thinking, I'm like, how do I do this? Because I really, I want to say something, and I don't know how it's going to sound, but part of our walk with Christ is enduring suffering. And I
Mm.
don't want to smile at this, but I think when I see other people kind of walk through the valley of the shadow of death and they have a positive outlook and they're not giving up, and if even if there's a glimpse of like a seeking God, if there's a glimpse of like, even if their eyes perk up when somebody's talking about Jesus, I'm like, cool. I think
Mm.
that's what I really, really, really like. And what I try to like, I love the successes, man. It's so like, it's really cool to see somebody, just do well and be happy and joyful. Like, yeah,
Mm.
obviously, I love that. That's like the best. I want to be happy and joyful all the time. But like, I just started recently with one of my agents. We're starting the week off, and I'm going to be doing this. I posted in the public channel. I don't have a ton of agents right now, and I don't plan on having a ton right now, because that's part of what I'm doing is not. I haven't been called to the masses, and if I am,
Mm.
I will be. That's fine. Uh, but I start the week off with a Bible verse, and we end the week on Friday with that Bible. So I give a random Bible verse, and not random. I look and like the one before Easter, it was the verse where Jesus, I think it was in Luke or John maybe, where he had made fish. He made the charcoal fire and fish
Mm-hmm.
after he was resurrected. And he was like, boys,
Mm-hmm.
throw your net on the other side. And they brought up fish. And Peter was like, oh my goodness. And he ran over and he was all excited. He's like, let's have something to eat. And I think the cool thing about that was that, yeah, he was resurrected in a heavenly body, but he took the time to make a fire and then food, and then he sat down and he just had a meal with them. And that's all. That was like a miracle, just to sit down and be still and have a meal. So like there's another little pleasure I get. I really like connecting with people. And whenever we can sit down and in between the work and all of that, and we can just kind of connect on a human level, I think it's really cool. Whether even like I love talking about Jesus in the Bible, and everybody knows that, so it's not like a surprise. And I'm like, here's a Bible verse. Like, how you doing? Here's a Bible. They're like, okay, whatever. Okay, Ken. I get people telling me stop. Like my good friends, like stop sending me Bible verses. Like, what do you mean hate the world? Stop. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Love you guys. And, so like even just like talking about boxing or jujitsu for a little bit, like with agents, and just talking about like that, I think is really important. It just cultivates, like, it's just loving your neighbor a little bit. It doesn't always have to be like Jesus. Like, it is all about Jesus. So like Jesus likes boxing. Maybe, I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. He wants us to enjoy that part too. So I like cultivating relationships. And then what I really hope, and I don't think I'll ever see this part, and maybe I will, but my hope is, and I trust that God will do what's right. I know that it's not up to me, that I plant seeds here for other people and they start planting seeds, and Hebrews is, I think, the best book for that type of work. Is just a bunch of people doing the work with other people. And a lot of times you get a lot of complaining and whining, and it's hard, and it's like there's moments of peace and joy, and at the end of it you usually don't see what good came out of it until after we're dead, and then maybe we'll see it whenever in eternity. So that's it's an interesting little concept. But the wheat plants the seed when it falls, or what I'm saying. I'm paraphrasing.
Thanks for watching the Lion and Lambo podcast. We hope this clip has been a huge blessing to you. And we want to remind you that we drop new videos, new podcast episodes every Sunday at 9 o'clock. You can find the full episode by clicking the card up at the top right of this video. If you prefer an audio-only experience, then we want to let you know that we're streaming through every major podcast streaming platform. For the full list, you can go to www.lionandthelambo.com. Until next time, go impact the world.